Good evening, everybody. Have we got anybody watching? Can tell me if my mic's working, if you can hear me. As you can see, we're in the museum tonight. My internet has failed at home again, so it gives me a chance to come in here, chat to you guys for a while, and do a bit of maintenance on the layouts in here. Hi, Christopher. How's it going? How are you, sir? Hope you're keeping well. So I'm going to get the trains going. There's a few in here that are not working. They need a bit of maintenance and cleaning. So I can get working on them. So any of you who aren't familiar with the layouts here in the Railway Museum in Donegal Town, the Donegal DAD camera is looking at a model of Donegal Town, and camera 2 is looking at a model of Killybeg Station. The Donegal Station was built by George Hannon. He is started building this in the 40s and 50s and kindly donated to the centre here so we can put it on display along with some of his models. All right, so you've had a few jobs then, Christopher. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I'm keeping busy, working away here in the museum, trying to get things ready for Drumbo. So I'm just going to do a little bit of cleaning of the track here and maintenance just to keep it all spick and span and working as it should be. So with these models running for a few hours every day, they do pick up dirt and grime and they need a clean. So I keep a little toolkit in here for doing such jobs. Hi, David. How's it going? Hope you're keeping well, sir. You'll be glad to hear that you're not the only one whose comments are being deleted by YouTube. They actually went in and deleted some of my comments, some replies I made to people who commented on my video. I went back the other day because I noticed the comment number had gone down. So I went and, oh, what's that? And they found they deleted my comments, my replies. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'll be heading up there sometime next week, hopefully, to have a look at her and get some more footage so I can do a video update for you guys of how everything are progressing. Yeah, so as I said, a bit of a disaster today. Home internet not working. And we've been trying to resolve it all week, but they haven't been very helpful. Our broadband supplier basically trying to say it's our fault it's not working because we use it too much. And I have a meter on mine, so I know exactly how much I'm pulling down and pushing up. And they reckon we're doing 3 times the amount of what I say we're doing. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not possible. If you think about, if you say we're pulling down that amount of data, which is a huge amount of data in 3 days, you know, just have a think to yourself, that's not actually possible. Hi, Ronald, how you doing? Hi, Connor. Yeah, David, it is a shame about Worley. I was looking forward to that this year. My wallet wasn't looking forward to it. but I was looking forward to it. Really hoping to get out and meet some people, because I say the Worley meetup I was at the other weekend was great to meet some people and chat with people. What happened with Worley is, well, when I was there, I was chatting to them, and they said, look, they were waiting on the NEC to make some decisions about whether to go ahead or not. And I think it was the NEC who turned around and said, look, we just don't know. I think they've done the right thing, err on the side of caution, because there's a big investment for the club to put something like that on. And if it went wrong, got cancelled, and they lost a load of money, it would really hurt the club. And it's a fantastic club they have there. How do I power my layout? My layout at home is DCC. So I have a bus wire running around, and every couple of feet I attach droppers to my track and attach them to the bus wire. This layout here you're looking at in the center, this is a DC layout, and it has little DC shuttles working on it. Again, it's the same thing. I've run a bus wire underneath, soldered on droppers, dropped them down to power it. And then obviously where the cuts are in the track for the diodes to go across for the shuttles to work, obviously I haven't put any feeders on them because the diode carries the power across the track. Let's get the old track rubber out. All I've got here is one of those sort of hard foam sanding blocks that you would wrap your sanding paper around. And it's just rough enough and soft enough to clean the tracks without doing any damage. It lasts a lot longer and is a lot cheaper than track rubbers. So what's everyone been up to this week? Anything exciting? I did manage to get onto my layout and do a little bit of work. I've actually created some little bushes from some old rope, which is what tomorrow's video was going to be on. That's if I manage to get it uploaded, if my internet stays on long enough to upload it. I have to finish it as well because I was filming it today, and then I realized my microphone went flat. So when I played back the footage, there was no audio on it, so I've got to redo the audio. But hey ho. That's working. Now, I need It's a little engine. Weathering? What are you asking there, David? Oh, you're weathering. All right, sorry. Yeah. What's it been weathering? Your locos or buildings or track or? I think I'm going to have to get some new motors and chassis for some of these because they're all pretty worn out. I've seen people do that before with a block of wood, usually a bit of balsa wood, and that does actually work quite well. But I find these sanding blocks, they're not aggressive on the track. And they're a nice size to hold as well. So, they're designed for sanding to be held in your hand. Plastic kits. We all have a lot to learn. You're constantly learning. I was just looking at my own layout where I've been started on one side of the static grass and worked my way around. And I think as you go around the layout, as I get more practice, static grass is actually looking better. Yeah, you're constantly learning and updating your skills. So by the time I get around to where I've started, I'll probably want to rip that up and start again. But as they say, model railways never finished. I've got a few plastic kits I need to build up. I bought some of those dowel tankers. So I think I'm going to start building them once I'm watching the Grand Prix because I've no Metcalf kits left to build. So I'll start doing them while I'm... Hi, Mark James Ryan there on Facebook. You can come and join us on YouTube as well if you want. There's a few of us on here. You're from Dublin, Irish Model Railways. Is that Irish Model Railways that are producing the new A-Class? Hi, Stockton Junction, how are you? If it is you who's producing that A-Class, when are they coming in? I'm wondering when my order's coming. When do I have to keep an eye out for the postman so my missus doesn't get there first? Oh, excellent. Yeah. So how far along are you with your new layout, Stockton? swap this over. Yeah, I think that engine is just worn out. Oh, you run Facebook and Instagram called Irish Model Railways. Ah, gotcha. Hi, Kieran. How are you doing? Yeah, I've been on that Facebook page. Something I must do is get more into Instagram. I do have an Instagram, but haven't quite got to grips with it yet. Sorry, I was just taking a drink there. Yep, I think this old red engine is just worn out. I've stripped this down so many times before and cleaned it and put it back together. But I think it's getting to the stage now where the motor and mechanism are just worn out. I'm going to have to think about getting a new one. Like, it's only a little 060 tank engine. In fact, I think it was a Thomas the Tank. And just sprayed up red to look like one of the Donegal's tank engines. So Stockton, how big's your layout going to be when it's done? You got one helix. And is it going to be modeled on anything in particular? So MJR, based around Dublin Port and modern Docklands. All right, okay. So what all will you be running on there? 25 by 15 foot shed. Oh, wow. Jealous of that now. Mine is 13 foot by 10 foot, the space I have. Mine's on 2 levels. Well, the underneath is just a storage yard, really. But I've got a gradual gradient running around the outside to take it down, because the helixes would just take up too much space. Network southeast, 80s to 90s. All right. Yeah, my layout is no period, no particular place. I just like building the model, doing the scenery, and running whatever I want on it. Hi, Rachel. I guess the internet must be working at home again. Yeah, I said earlier in the stream, I'm heading up there sometime next week to have a look over it and do some videoing off it and see if we can get some dates of when we might be able to bring it back. The only thing that's going to probably hold it up now is the work at the station here, because of course Northern Ireland, the Republic, we're running at 2 different speeds with COVID. So the building works, we're only able to get back on site sort of the end of May, beginning of June, and there was concrete to be poured, and they couldn't pour it a couple of weeks ago because it was too hot, and they can't pour it now because it's too wet. And we had some torrential downfalls here today in Donegal. I looked out the window and it looked like we were underwater. But now this evening the sun's come out, we've got blue skies. So the internet. So this is why I'm in the museum tonight. It's because my internet's on the fritz at home. So it gives me a chance to come in here, do a bit of service and track cleaning, make sure everything's working spick and span. And Killybegs to Donegal town line seems to be working fine now. The Inver branch line seems to keep stalling. So I'll just give that track a bit of a wipe over. I should use some of the alcohol I got. Oh, you've been back at your club. Excellent, Kieran. Yeah, as I say, I was glad to get to Worley the other week there. It was very interesting. Yeah, so I'm not going to get to any shows this year by the looks of it. Worley being cancelled. The big show in Dublin's already been cancelled. So nothing until next year. But, you know, it's perfectly understandable. I understand why. I am annoyed about it, but not because they cancelled it, but the reason why it's been cancelled. But anyway, we probably must have a few lurkers out there in the background. What are you guys up to? Don't be afraid to come into the chat and say hello or ask any questions. Don't forget to give me the old thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. I'm just about 6 shy of getting to 900, I think, at the moment. I'll show you some of the detail now of some of these models. If I go to solar screen on this one. So that is a model of Railcar 1. And that was built by George Hannon, who built this layout. I was speaking to his son a few weeks ago. And he said his dad was a perfectionist. You know, he put all the rivets in by hand and, you know, modeled everything. If anything was wrong, he would scrap it and start again. And I mean, for something here that was built in the 50s, tin plate, it's amazing work. And there's no way I could do something like that. I have had this running, given it a good cleanup. It doesn't run very well, obviously, because the mechanism is so old in it. And to be honest, I don't want to work on it too much because this is an original and it makes a nice static model. The Great Hornby Magazine show is on. When's that on, David? And where is it on? No, that just doesn't want to run. It's just had it, I think. What else do I have that will run? See now, this little model of, I think this is Railcar 6. This was running. Let's see if I can get this going. Oh. Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes. Whereabouts in the UK is that? The geography of the UK isn't great. That one to see if that one will run any better. All right, Clevebags line is running well. The Ember siding has stopped again. Oh. I haven't actually cleaned the wheels on this one. Let's give this a clean. No one's come up to the window this time to look in. Last time I was doing, they came up, were looking through the window, could see me wandering around, thinking I was talking to myself. Northwest of London, right. Buckinghamshire. So Stansted or Luton would probably be the closest airport, yeah? I know my missus is probably watching this somewhere and she's going thinking, nope, you're not going there. Luton, right. So I think EasyJet flight out of Belfast to Luton. I'll have to look that up. You know, I think all these layouts need is a decent power supply. Because I'm sure that's what some of the problems are on here, because this is running with a load of those cheapy Hornby ones. I just don't think they give out enough current. Let's leave that running for a while, see how that runs. And short train ride from Luton. Okay. Right. Anybody notice that little red train being going up and down while my back's being turned? I've been too busy looking at the other ones. Right, I will put the other side on for a little while so you can see Killybegs. So you can see Killybegs was the only station on the network that actually had a covering over the platform and the track, because the track actually faced the Atlantic Ocean, so when the storms were coming in, you get a wave in your face. Oh, this one actually looks like it's a Percy that's been painted over. There's all green underneath. Really must teach someone else in this museum how to do this. The other thing is the track in this layout was replaced in the 70s, I think it was. And it is actually quite worn down, the track. So, well, yeah, there's a load of dirt on one of these wheels. That cleaned off. '30th of October. Do you know what? That is actually will be midterm break, and we are actually planning to go to Bristol if everything's okay to travel with the kids and that for midterm break. So could be killing two birds with one stone here. As kids haven't been out of the country for almost 2 years, and we want to see there, because Becky is from Bristol, so there's a lot of relations over there they haven't seen for a couple of years. Oops. Oh, there's little pocket rockets. So they're 2 speeds, not moving. Yeah, we heard about War League, Kieran. We were chatting about it earlier on. Yeah, it's a shame it's been cancelled, but understand why. It almost went off the edge of the track there. We're getting there. We're starting to slowly come alive. Anybody got any questions about these layouts or about the Donegal Railway in general? Let's give those wheels a clean. These are filthy. Are you losing picture or sound? What's happening? So I've had no warnings come up for anything on here. You guys still hear me? Okay, so you can still hear and see me then, Kieran? It was working, now it's not. Should have left it alone. What's that? If it's not broke, don't fix it. That line has a habit of shorting out. Yeah, it's shorted out. Nope, it still hasn't. Sorry, I'm crawling under the layout here, guys, so if you lose me. Right, let's see how that goes now. The circle of doom. It's you, David. It's YouTube's got something against you. All right, let's see if that returns. Right, that seems to be whizzing away up there quite happily. Here, I'll put you back on to two again so you can see the two. Now camera 2 will probably disappear in a second because the battery's running low in that. Now we're down to 5%, so we'll probably only get that for about another 5 minutes and it'll disappear. You can see the little pocket rocket there. There's not much fine adjustment with the Hornby controller. It's either super fast or not at all. We'll just turn it down a notch and just see if it makes any difference. Now the last one to be looked at is the LGB, because that's not moving at all. The LGB one is the one up there on the shelf. I think the power supply for that has completely failed. So I'm just going to wire another one into it just to test it. See how it goes. Use these older Hornby controllers. Like, these are pretty bulletproof. You know, they don't cut out, give good power. They haven't got too much fine adjustment on them, but they do work well. Right, let's see if I can plug this in and get this going. Oh, hang on. Number 6. Oh, the power supply for that is working. So maybe this just needs a clean. Oh, actually, I think the pickups are a bit worn. Anybody who hasn't seen LGB pickups, that's where they pick the power up from there, rubs it on the track. You can see there's a couple of nice grooves worn in that. So they could probably do with being replaced. Which is something I haven't done before. So what I will do is I have another one here. I'll stick that on the track and see if it works. And it does. So it wasn't the controller after all. When I checked the other day, the whole thing was out and completely dead. Hi, John. Yes, Gauge Master controllers are excellent. They're also expensive. I know they do come with a lifeweight guarantee, and I would love to get a few for the museum here, but if we had 2 4-way controllers for Gauge Master, I have looked at them. They're really pricey. So if you know anyone who's got any secondhand who would like to donate to the museum here, we'd gladly accept them, and I could replace all the wiring I have down here. John's actually watching us on Facebook. If you want, John, come on over to YouTube. There's a few of us over here having a chat. Right. What's working now? Donegal to Killybegs is working. Ember siding is working. Top shelf is working. Middle shelf was working. Should still be going. The Donegal to Barnes branch line now is not working because I turned it down and it doesn't like it. So if I turn that back up. Nope, still doesn't like it. Nope. Notice I think these engines are just worn out. If you run here every day, non-stop, over the summer, we could be running for 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've got a G-gauge Bachmann set. It's the Thomas the Tank Engine Christmas set with a Christmas carriage and a wagon carrying 2 parcels and Thomas with a Santa hat on his chimney. And I use that in here, obviously at Christmas. I've been running around. So one of the things we will be building, putting back outside, is the G-gauge outdoor garden layout. We'll be building that sometime over the winter, maybe, depending on the weather. Wow. I'll just put that up there. That's what John just put up. He's coming over to YouTube. Yeah, I picked up the Thomas one on eBay a good few years ago. I found it for some reason quite cheap, brand new in the box, never been opened. So I grabbed it. It obviously had come out of a shop somewhere or it'd been in the window because the box was a bit faded and his Santa hat was a bit faded on one side. But it was working perfectly and it still works. I mean, it's only used for like 1 month a year. But we have other wonderful G-gauge models here, all hand built by various people. Oh, I'm just disturbing the spiders on this one. Oh, I need to get onto the cleaner. So you see that? It's a model of one of the brake coaches. So this was what Coach 28 would have looked like. So there would have been what they called third class compartments here at the back, which would have been on the back of the freight trains. If you weren't too fussed about what time you got somewhere, you could buy a third class ticket and sit in here. They would squeeze about 10 people in either end, just wooden bench seats facing each other. And of course, this is the guards compartment. Hi, John. Welcome to YouTube. Oh, camera 2's gone. Yeah, the battery's gone in camera 2. So we'll just have the one camera for the rest of the right, this one hasn't moved. think if I remember rightly, I took that one off because it they needed replacing on there as well. The contacts. I do have some contacts somewhere, so I'll have to look up how to replace them and do a job on them. I did have some, he says, rooting around in his spare box. See, this is why I miss going to train shows, because this is the sort of thing you pick up. Because I'm sure when I was at Worley last, I picked some up. And I know I haven't replaced them, so they've got to be here somewhere. Oh yeah, here they are. Yeah, I've got a replacement pair, so there's a job to be done someday after I do some research and find out how to exactly do it. Right, so everything's still working. Hi Carl, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, to say I'm in the museum tonight because my internet's not working at home, so I thought, well, this gives me a chance to come in, clean up the tracks, service the locos that are in here, make sure everything's working. So it's on this layout now since we moved it around last year. We have 7 working tracks, so there should be 7 trains running at all times. But some of the older lines are a bit finicky and do tend to stop. We have a battery operated model of Phoenix. Phoenix was originally steam driven, and they took the boiler out of it, which I didn't know the boiler went off somewhere to become a heating boiler, I believe, and replaced it with a diesel engine, and it was chain driven. And you can still go and see it up in Cultra in Belfast. I've been up there a few times to see it, along with Railcar 1 and Railcar 10. So if you want to see the real Railcar 1, it's up in Belfast. You can go and see it. And do I have... And there's a model of Railcar 10. Say all these models now are well worn and they don't run anymore. And I really don't want to strip them down to replace the innards in them because I would be frightened of destroying them. And to be honest, they're just nice as static exhibits on the layout. I went off before I could attach it. You see, so it goes faster in reverse and it does forward, okay? Yeah, it is. I'll be up there to have a closer look at her on one day next week now. It's good to get up there and just, if you've seen the latest photo on Facebook, the border has been put back in place. They're fitting the tanks in the bunker. So she might be assembled when I get up there. And then she just needs the cladding and just say, yeah, just put the cladding on and paint her, yeah. But it's thanks to all the hard work by the guys up in Whitehead. I know for some of the guys up there, it's a labour of love. They have a fascination and a love for the Donegal railways. And it's great to have their help and their dedication. I know if I lived up in Belfast, I would probably be in Whitehead every weekend. But I am determined to get her put back into steam someday and have her running somewhere. I want to be stood on her footplate when she's steaming. So she'll come back here for a few years to be on display, get people excited about it, and try to engage with everyone and get everybody on board and say, this is what we want to do. This is how we can do it. Come and help us do it. This is what we can do. This is what it'll do for the local economy. It's going to be a long, difficult road ahead, but just keep plugging away. Yeah, it does cost a lot, John. I'm aware of that. I mean, everyone's been hit by this COVID. Like in 2019, we were doing really well, and we had, high hopes to get Drumbo back here last summer and everything, really make the museum something special here in Donegal town. I mean, we've just been hit by delays, and then we got grant aid to do this, and then the cost of everything went up, and we're just scrambling around trying to find money, and we haven't been open to make money in, and it's just a real headache, as I'm sure you're aware. Yeah. I think when I spoke to Peter, he said conservatively maybe $500,000 to put her back into steam. But it will be a problem raising that sort of money. But the bigger problem for me at the moment is actually having a long enough bit of track bed to run her on to make it viable. And it is something we're working on here in the background. But sometimes it just feels like you're starting from scratch every day when you come in. Yeah, I did knock everything for 6. You're right, raw materials have skyrocketed. Like we had in the budget, we'd had in there a load of wood to help us start the restoration on Coach 28. And we're having to partly shelve part of that now because we need that money allocated to cover the costs on the other building costs. And it just feels like you're constantly sort of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Hi, Jerry. How you doing, sir? Good to have you here. But we're looking positive now. We're looking to the future. We'll have Drumbo back here. We'll have our new signage in place. We'll have the ride-on going up and down the old platform. We'll have a good tourist product here to get people in next year when things are back to normal. So people can come here, learn about the railways in the county. You know, and we can start building up from there and going forward again. Right, I think almost everything is working again better. Clean the track, service some of the engines. They all seem to be working a bit better. Hopefully it stays that way. Yeah, you'd be welcome up anytime, Jerry. Let me know when you're coming. I'll make sure I'm here to give you the private tour. But besides Drumbo, the other restoration projects we've got ongoing here is Trailer 5, Wagon 30, and Coach 28. We have Coach 58, which we've just done some restoration on one side that needed it. Replaced some of the wood panels and that. It's ready to be painted. We've done the same on the body of Railcar 15. The grey wagon we have here, we replaced the wood on that, bits and pieces that were rotten, and given it a coat of paint. We have a few repairs to do to the door of the red wagon and give that a fresh coat of paint. We've also carried out repairs to the Swilly signal box we have here. That's had some new wood put in it. It's had a layer of undercoat put on it. It's waiting for the top coat now whenever we get some dry weather. Because believe it or not, when it was that hot weather and it was nice and sunny, we couldn't paint anything because the paint was drying on the brush before you could put it on the wood. So it was just too hot. I'll do that as well, Jerry. I'll make sure I get your money. Don't worry. And if I don't get it, someone else will in here. Right, is this red one stopped again? We also have this line here. I've put a shuttle on. But some of this is the old steel rails. It just doesn't seem to work very well, even though I've put droppers on every section. Again, I think it's down to the controller as well, but just not being powerful enough to drive the shuttles. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off now. I've been on here for over an hour now. I'm going to go and grab myself a takeaway on the way home. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new here, if you like what you see. Should have a video out tomorrow on how I created the little grass, or not, the little bushes and tufts. You might have seen a couple of pictures I put up on Facebook of them. That's tomorrow's video. We have a vintage tractor and car run here on Sunday raise some money to support the centre. If we get a few people turn up, I may just go live to show off some of the cars, or I may do a record and make a video of it. So you may get some alerts on Sunday. Other than that, I will see you guys next Thursday. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you all then.